I'm Marcus James Dixon with Gold Derby, and we are here with Karen Fukuhara, who plays Kimiko on Amazon Prime Video's The Boys. I want to start right off the bat by talking about the musical scene from episode 5, my favorite scene of the season by far. What was your reaction when you learned you'd be singing and dancing on The Boys?
I was in shock when I first read the script because Eric didn't really give me a heads up or didn't ever really mention that Kimiko would be doing the musical number. I remember in season 2, he was telling us about oh, it's always been my dream to work on a musical number within one of my shows. And I think he tried to do it in season 2, and he couldn't find the right storyline to do it with. And then when I read season 3 script, I just couldn't believe it because it's so unexpected, especially having the mute character be in a musical number. I thought it was brilliant. He incorporated it so well, and I felt really honored that I got to be the one character that got to experience this. It was awesome. Like one of my favorite sequences that I've shot so far.
Yeah, I bet. And how much trust did you have to have with your dance partner slash co-star, Tomer Capone, who plays Frenchie, because you guys were in this thing together?
Oh, so much trust. I mean, I trust Tomer with many things in life. He's a fantastic scene partner. We talk over a lot of the scenes, and we really get into it. And not everyone has that sort of rapport with their co-star, and I'm really lucky that we are very close. And I mean, the dancing, both of us were very new to it. We had never taken, dance class. We never knew how to we never took classes. So everything was very new. I had to learn everything from the basics, like simple things that every dancer knows how to do. I had never done before. So learning that with Tomer and failing miserably in the beginning, and then seeing each other grow throughout the process. We went through like weeks and weeks of training, and we would go in every single time we had an off day, and we'd practice together, and we'd even practice on the side at I think Aaron had a birthday party, and we were like, oh, look at what we've been rehearsing. Yeah, so it was really fun doing it with a partner. And I trusted him completely, and yeah, he was great.
You mentioned how much work went into this. Can you talk about the choreography and because there was also a ton of background dancers too.
Yes. I feel very lucky in that we always get to work with the best of the best. Amy, our choreographer for that number, put together something that was really right for our characters. And she had different versions, and she would be really open to exploring how our characters would move within the dance sequence. And so Tomer and I would come up with oh, we saw this in a video once, and we would like to incorporate this type of movement, and I think it would be funny to do it, like this, because it would make sense for the character's personality. And so we all kind of collaborated on creating the sequence, and sometimes we would have ideas, but we would have no idea how to execute it. And that's where she would come in, and she would say oh, well, how about A, B, and C? These are your options, and what feels right to you? What was the question? I'm completely blanking.
No, that was pretty much it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
choreography and yeah. I have a feeling we're going to see you on Dancing with the Stars coming up.
I mean, I would be really thrilled if they asked me to be on it, but yeah, I would need to practice a lot for that.
Well, in season 3, this was really Kimiko's best, strongest season. And I saw in a different interview, you said this season was about rediscovering her own identity. Can you talk a little about that aspect a little bit more?
Yeah, I think what we forget sometimes with Kimiko is that in any other world she would have been a normal girl. You know, she's just put in these unfortunate circumstances, and was traumatized throughout her life, and so she's forced to live this life that she didn't choose for herself. And in season 3 especially, she comes to terms with the fact that she sort of has become the person that she didn't want to become. She became the perpetrator. She became the monster that uh, she was traumatized by and tortured by in the past. And I think up until a certain point, she blamed those people, and she, like, wanted to get revenge, and she had so much hatred within her for her powers and all of those things, making her into this evil version of herself. And then as the season goes on, she realizes that, oh, it's not about the powers. It was about me. And losing her powers, really, it's a wake-up call to her. She was still the violent person that, she feared she would be. And so she has to come to terms with that and face the realities of her identity.
Mm.
And I loved this season because, she really, like, there's a lot of growth in, and she's very introspective, and then she comes out really just learning from her own experiences, and it's a rebirth, really.
Mm.
Yeah, she owns up to her past, and now she's in her redefining stage of her life. And yeah.
One of those great scenes, like redefining scenes, is where we see into her soul is in the
Mhm.
premiere when she's singing "Dream a Little Dream of Me"
Yeah.
with the piano, and then we learn, oh, it's just a fantasy. But I mean, that was what she was thinking. Can you talk about that moment?
Yes. Her singing throughout the season is really a representation of her desire to connect with people. I think she's lived a very lonely life of not being able to communicate, and not when you can't communicate with people, it's really hard to make deep connections, make friends, anything, right? So
Mm.
uh, she longs to do that. Like, she longs to be able to tell a joke, or just everyday conversations. She longs for the romance. She wants to be, like, romanced and be in love, and uh, make new friends and just hang out with them. And I think the musicals are a representation of her desires to do all of those things. And that Dream a Little Dream sequence is a little heartbreaking because she's, in awe of this pianist, someone that's close to her age, that's playing the piano beautifully. All she wants to do is, uh, say, "Oh, great performance. Like, I love the way you play the piano." And possibly, like, sing with her, and you know share that experience with her, but she can't. And it's a really, like, heartbreaking, sad scene. But it's a way. I love that Kripke sprinkles those moments in so that the audience can really feel where Kimiko is within her journey.
Mm. There's this moment in episode 2 where you're walking through Votland, which is like the
Ah,
Disneyland
yeah.
theme park, and the production design, the set design, it's all so incredible. Do you have a favorite moment from that set?
Ah, I that whole sequence was so much fun to shoot because we filmed it at Canada's Wonderland. It's a real theme park, and Tamara and I actually wanted to go. He's been, like, saying, oh, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta get the cast to go. We haven't been yet. COVID happened and like it was really hard to actually make it there, but we went there to film, and it's pure joy. You know, she's having the time of her life. That yeah, it's something that her and Kenji always talked about. She saw it in magazines growing up, and she's never been able to experience it. And now she's here with Frenchie, her partner in crime, and then things turn very south from there. But
Mhm.
the set design, like you said, was amazing. All of the Queen Maeve LGBTQ stuff, it was just amazing how it was incorporated into the sets. And I'm sure that if you like press pause and then like zoom in on things, there are so many little trinkets there. Yeah, it was a treat to see it all. I wanted to like take everything home, but
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah.
I wonder what happens to all that stuff. I'm sure someone has it in a warehouse somewhere.
Oh
Somewhere.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure Amazon has it somewhere in their secret storage, but so cool.
Jensen Ackles joined the cast as Soldier Boy. What was it like working with him, and what does he bring to the show as this new character that's bad and good at the same time?
Oh, it was he was a breath of fresh air, honestly. He's been working on a big show for the longest time. Um, but even then, and he's a huge star, right? Like so many people love him. And he just came in so humble and like ready to get in and like play, and so kind, so respectful, so much fun. And he's given us like, or me at least, some pieces of advice. And it was just a treat to have him, someone like him, come and join our set. We have a very like, I don't know, everyone gets along on our show, and it's he just fit right in. So yeah, I wish I had more scenes with him. I had a few, but like it would have been nice to have longer scenes with him because he was such a treat.
Right. He took your powers away.
He
He
did.
that mean guy. And that was kind of an interesting storyline because when she lost her powers, she was completely okay with it. She didn't want them back. Can you talk about that aspect?
Yeah. When I first read the script as an actor, I was in shock, and despair. But yeah, as a character, you know, she was happy because it was the first time she felt like she could have a normal life. She never wanted her powers to begin with. They were kind of forced upon her. And like I said, you know, she blamed her powers for making it her into this monster, this evil person. And she thought that by losing the powers, she could be someone else. She could live a different life. And then she quickly realizes that it's not really her powers. It's, you know, it's up to her. She has to define her own identity and how she wants to conduct life. I think that's a really big theme within our show for the third season. Um, Not just about superpowers, but also about like political power and the effects even that someone can have over someone else. It's really about how you use it and how you use your power and your voice. So yeah, it was an important thing for Kimiko to go through. But yeah, in the beginning, I hated it. Glad I got
Well,
them back.
yes, we're all happy. This is such a dorky question, but when you're texting Starlight on the bed or any scene where you're texting, what are you as the actress do? Are you just pushing buttons or are you actually texting the words?
You know, in the beginning, I really made it an effort to like type it all out.
Mhm.
Um, but it's difficult because it's slower than like the usual cell phone device that you would use.
Mhm.
I type really fast in real life. So going from that and like trying to figure out the beats of the scene is quite difficult. So I end up having to like take my own cues and yeah, type and go. I guess. Yeah, it's technical when it comes to like technology on set.
Well, season 3 is eligible at the Emmy Awards, and I would love to know, what would it mean to you to get nominated for playing this amazing character?
Oh my goodness, it would mean the world to me. I Season 3 is my favorite season. I got to do so much, and I feel really lucky because, you know, a lot of times characters like Kimiko can be overlooked, and we're not really given a backstory or an arc or anything interesting or juicy to work with, and that's so far from the truth on this show. I I just adore Kimiko, but I also just like am so thrilled to be on this show. I know we were nominated during COVID, and that was a treat, but we didn't really get to celebrate together uh, during the pandemic. So if we get nominated again as a show, it would mean the world to just like raise a glass together in the same room. And yeah, yeah, I just love the show so much. So it would mean the world to me to be acknowledged. Yeah.
And final question, Karen, is there anything you can tease about season 4 without getting fired? I don't want you to get in trouble.
Oh man. It's so hard. It's so hard. We just wrapped season 4 about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And there was one day where at the end of filming, we were filming outside, and the sky was beautiful. It was pink and purple, and the sun was setting. And I was with, I think, the boys, and mainly Tomer. And we kind of just looked at the sky, and we were like embracing one another and just feeling really lucky, to be a part of this show. And we have a freaking amazing like cast and crew. We hang out outside of set. We're working on something that we're proud of. It's just like, yeah, it just felt right, and I felt so lucky. It's such a crazy feeling to feel like you might burst from feeling so grateful. It's very bittersweet, and so I hope that all translates onto screen for season 4. I guess that's the most non-spoilery
No,
thing I
that's
can
perfect.
say.
Yeah, I can't wait to try to watch season 4 and guess which scene it is you're referring to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for chatting with us. Best of luck at the Emmys and have an amazing summer, okay?
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks for your time.